Hi guys, my back is still absolutely ruined, but I'm going to soldier on. Today we've got something a little bit different. A lot of you guys have been asking me if you're thinking of media streaming on these devices. Today we're talking the early comparison between the Samsung Galaxy S8 and of course the early leaked rumours for the brand new iPhone 8. Hi guys, so basically I'm just going to give a quick rundown of the two different devices. We know more about the Samsung Galaxy S8 due to the fact that he's being released in the next couple of months as opposed to the iPhone, which is due out in the autumn. First going to focus on the Galaxy S8 and then I'm going to jump onto the information or the early rumours and leaks for the iPhone 8, so let's go. So of course the first thing we know about the Galaxy S8 is there is going to be no flat screen version. It's going to be an S8 Edge basically, or the S8 Edge Plus. It's not going to have the Edge in the title, but it is going to be a curved display for both. So you're going to have a 5.8 inch screen for the standard S8 and of course a 6.2 for the Plus. It is going to be a larger screen to handset ratio, so you're losing the bezels. So as far as we're aware, there's not going to be a home button on the S8 now, and there's also not going to be a Samsung logo. That was scrapped, I believe, about 6 to 8 weeks ago when there was a lot of rumours to suggest it was going to be a thin logo on the bottom. That, as far as I'm aware, is going as well. So you're just going to have two strips either side of a much larger display. It's going to come in two different varieties, the 64 gig version and the 128 gig version. So obviously 64 is the standard. But of course, as we know and love, the S7 brought back the expandable storage, so you will see that again on the S8. The standard S8 will come with 4 gigabytes of RAM. The Edge Plus will come with 6 gigabytes of RAM to help with the additional screen size, etc. Now, the biggest controversy with the S8, well, not really controversy, but the biggest talking point was of course where the home button or the fingerprint sensor was going to be. A lot of people thought it was going to be built into the screen, and that was generally the rumor up until about sort of 3 or 4 weeks ago when leaked photos of a pretty much a prototype showed that we were going to see the fingerprint scanner actually on the back next to the camera. So of course that is going to be there. Now I'd like to know your feeling on this. I personally think that this might become slightly uncomfortable and it would be much better to see it on the display, but of course the technology probably wasn't quite around. They were obviously focusing more on other things to make sure the Samsung S8 was a success, and they're going to probably focus maybe on that on the S9. But let me know in the comment section below whether you think moving to the back was a good thing or whether you'd like to see it somewhere else. Oh, just a quick thing. If you're thinking of salt and vinegar crisps, if you're in the UK, Co-op do without a shadow of a doubt the best. It's not a plug. It's not a sponsored video, but they do the best salt and vinegar crisps bar none. They're absolutely incredible. Oh my, they are spectacular. Anyway, moving on. The camera is going to be a 12 megapixel rear facing and of course an 8 front facing selfie camera. Now they have made improvements to that, of course, because of course you know that not just the megapixels matter in a camera, so we will see a better camera than the S7. I mean, we all know that they improve year on year anyway. But also the protrusion on the back for the rear-facing camera now, I believe, is 0.2. So that is absolutely tiny. Now the screen will be the screen will be a QHD AMOLED display. Now we all know that Samsung do, you know, pretty much right up there the best screens displays on the market. It's going to be no different. This is going to be another really top display. Now as far as I'm aware as well, they are going to be using a 3D touch mechanism on the screen. Whether that's I believe that's going to be more of a press and hold in terms of what it's going to do with certain apps and things like that, as opposed to actually in the display. But again, I'm not too sure on that, so don't quote me on that one. Again, as far as I'm aware, it's going to come in two different varieties. So you're going to have the sort of gold, champagne gold sort of look that we've seen across many of the ranges so far since the S6. And of course a jet black version to pretty much compete with the iPhone, because we all know that, well, we'll get to the iPhone, but a lot of the leaks on the iPhone is it going to be a jet black version. Again, another leak is that the Samsung team are working with the Snapdragon 835. So again, it's going to be a very, very snappy device, and hopefully, moving on to the next bit, the battery will improve. Now, there's not a great deal in terms of showing it's going to be bigger in terms of the milliamp amount. So we're looking at a 3000 for the S8 and a 3500 for the Plus. But again, in terms of technology, hopefully they've ironed out a few of the issues they had with the cursed Note 7 line. Like I said, hopefully there will be improvements on that, and again, we'll get to the release date, but that is one of the main reasons why the release date has sort of gone back based on previous years, just due to the fact that they want to make sure that everything is going to be right. Now, this is the first Samsung phone that will use the all-new Samsung voice assistant called Bixby, I believe. And again, this is up there to compete with Google Now. It's up there to compete with Siri, things like that. So again, time will tell whether that is a success or not. Now, we've got one more thing before we talk price and release date. There is, I believe, going to be the iris scanner again, like there was on the Note 7. But again, it's going to have improvements, and it's going to be quicker, and it's going to read far better. So that is another thing that is going to be added to the S8 range. Now, in terms of price, we're looking at around 850 euros if the rumours are correct. And the release date, well, there is a Samsung event on March the 29th, which will probably tell an exact date. If we are to believe what we've heard, it is due to be launched on April the 21st. That is, as far as I'm aware, the release date for the Galaxy S8. Probably hear more in the coming days. And like I said, this series is going to run right the way through to the release of the iPhone. So once we've had a look at the Samsung, finally, we've had a chance to test it, things like that, I will do more videos on the comparisons right the way up to the release of the iPhone 8. And then, of course, once that's been released as well, then we'll have a test of the two as well. So without further ado, we're now going to jump onto the iPhone 8 rumours. There are less rumours for this because obviously, like I said, it's not due out till the autumn time or fall. First off, it's going to be the 10th anniversary of the iPhone. So, of course, we're expecting big things after an indifferent iPhone 7. As far as I'm concerned, that we didn't see a massive change. It was more sort of refinements and things like that, but I think the iPhone 8 is going to be a big step in the iPhone range. So moving on to some of the features, some of the rumoured features anyway, again, to compete with the Samsung S8 and a few other different phone models, we're going to see a far more bezel-less display. So again, we're talking losing the home button, and the top and bottom bars are going to be a lot smaller, so the screen to phone ratio is going to be much bigger. I believe there may be 3 varieties of the iPhone 8. Again, a lot of this is conjecture at the moment, but it is believed there's going to be 3 different, from small, middle and large in terms of the sizes. The exact sizes I will look into, and of course in future videos we will have more information on that. But in terms of losing some of the features we used to, like losing the home button, we're also going to be losing, as far as I'm aware, the volume rockers, and the mute button is a big talking point at the moment. There is talks about there being possibly, there is talks, my back's causing my head to explode. There is talk that the mute button is going to go, which, again, let me know in the comment section below what you feel about that. I certainly feel that that would be a downgrade, because I believe the mute button is very, very handy, especially if you're with friends and you don't want your phone to go, or you're in a meeting, you're at work, and you don't want your phone to go off, and it does go off and you forget, you can just quickly flick it and it send it to mute. Whereas now you'd have to actually go into your phone and go to your settings and mute it that way. So I would like to see that, but again, they're trying to get this sort of all-in-one display to help with the design and feel of the product, but also in terms of its water-resistant ability. They want to try and reduce as many buttons and gaps and things like that as possible. So that's another reason why they might be looking to get rid of the mute button. And more on this, a lot of the guys at the top are saying that they want to make it this jet black, all-in-one, sleek, all glass appeal. So that's another rumour that in terms of the look and how it's going to appear, and for the water resistant ability as well, that all-in-one, that kind of makes sense as to why they're kind of looking to do that. Now, the first real leak about the battery, this could be quite a big one here, and they're talking about making it a stacked platform so that it's on top of each other, and there's a chance of this rumoured L-shaped battery, so that to allow more battery space in this stacked layout. And that's mainly due to the fact they're kind of at a standstill tech-wise in finding ways to improve the lithium polymer battery. You know, many phones have been struggling over the last few years to improve that, and this may be one way to do it in terms of creating more space with this stacked layout. And then two more things before we talk about price. One, there is going to be, again, an iris scanner like the Samsung S8 as far as I'm aware, and we're also going to see the first wireless charging iPhone. We've seen a lot of wireless charging over the last couple of years with a lot of the Android phones. Well, this is going to be, as far as I'm aware, the first iPhone that is going to see wireless charging. And now on to price point. We are due to believe, like many people have rumoured over the last couple of days, it is going to be $1,000 and plus. So the first initial base range of the iPhone 8 is going to see a price tag of around $1,000, which it's a lot of money. So let me know in the comment section below what you think of that price, whether you think it's acceptable to charge that for an iPhone 8, or whether that may sway you to go to another Android phone or something like that. And also let me know in the comment section below whether you think the iPhone 8 or the Samsung Galaxy S8 or the Plus ranges of the two are going to be the best for you, and why. I'd love to hear your comments in the section below. Right, so that's it, guys. That is the video for today. If you have enjoyed the video and found it helpful and you want to see more of this sort of content, then drop a like below just to let me know. Again, I will still be doing a lot of my videos on media streaming, but of course I'll throw in a few of these sort of tech videos on other stuff as well. So let me know in the comments, and by hitting the like button if you do enjoy this sort of content, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. I do media streaming tutorials, product, device and app reviews as well. 5 videos a week. I'll see you in the next one. It's ASBYT, peace out. Hi guys, and today we're talking news. KODI on the Xbox One. And I think I broke my back.